Do you have the ability and know-how to make an emergency repair to a crack in your kayak that's going to cause it to sink when you're out fishing? I'm going to show you at least one technique in this video. Welcome back! If you're new to the channel, we cover kayak modifications, spin, and fly fishing. So poke that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. There's nothing worse than a kayak that starts to sink when you're in it and out fishing and a long way from a boat launch. And it can happen anywhere. Look what happened to this poor guy. Look at the hole in this kayak. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, that's what my duct tape's for. But if your duct tape is on the outside of the boat and you can't get to where the crack is on the inside, it's eventually going to come off. And duct tape really isn't waterproof anyway. A better bet is to use this tape they use to seal air conditioning ducts with. But both of these may come off before you can get back to your boat launch. Well, what are you going to do to fix that? Well, if you're out in the middle of the bay, you're kind of sucking eggs, and I'm going to have a different video that's going to propose a way to sink-proof a kayak. But for now, I'm going to assume that you get that crack, you see your boat starting to sink, and you've got the ability to get to the shore where you can do this fix. And it's really simple. You only need a couple basic things to take with you in your safety kit. So let's use this generic piece of HDPE. It's about the thickness of a kayak to show the technique here. Now it'll be easier doing this on the side of the stream than flat out because you'll be able to lean it and then apply the technique on a vertical plane instead of a horizontal plane. So here's what you need. You need a lighter, or even better, one of these fireplace starters. Then you need something metal, like braid scissors, a knife, or even the tip of your stringer. And what you're going to do is you're going to heat up the HDP a little bit just to get it a little bit malleable. Then you're going to heat up the tip of any of these metal tools, and the smaller the tip is, the better, because it'll take less heat to actually heat up and become effective. So once you pick your heating implement, you're ready to go. Now I elevated this a little bit above the table here because I don't want to burn this. Again, on your kayak, this is going to be vertical, so you don't have to worry about burning the table like I do here. So I think I'm going to use my braid scissors, and the first thing I'm going to do is heat up the tip. And then at the same time, apply the flame while you're heating to the HDPE. And that's going to get it to start to melt a little bit while not allowing the metal to cool off. All I'm doing is heating the HDPE as well as the metal tip, moving it back and forth and gradually pushing the melted HDPE into the crack. And that's all there really is to it. Not pretty, but it's going to work. And what's the alternative? A sink? This is just for emergency, and all you really want to do is seal it together. You're not going to be able to get it all the way through like you would do normally, where you cut a V-notch out of each side and then melt HDPE in. But you can see that when I try and stick the piece of paper in, you know, it's not going in, whereas over here on the other cut I made, you can see it goes all the way through. So this is certainly going to hold as long as you're careful and don't bang it until you get back to the boat launch. I think this idea goes into the category of better than nothing. And when you're miles away from a boat launch or a pickup point, when you're floating down a river and you bounce into a rock, this may be your only shot at getting back to that launch. So what do you guys think? Maybe the best solution is to do a little bit of the welding I discussed, have a little bit of tape on board where you can stick that over it just as an extra safety measure, and that'll get you back to the boat launch. If you've got a great idea on how to do emergency repairs to a big crack in your kayak that's making you sink, please throw it in the comments below. And if you've got a video on it, include that as well, because I worry about sinking. Thanks.